Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I'm about a minute and a half. That's not too bad. Hope everyone's doing okay. We got Greg in the chat and Andrew. What's up, guys? Starting off with just a little bit of water. And yeah, how was everyone's night? How's everyone's morning? Last night I got a chance to sit down and watch a documentary that everyone's been talking about. Hey, Brandon and Donald, what's going on, guys? The Scotch documentary on Amazon. I forget exactly what it's called because I'm good with stuff like that. Scotch. Someone's gonna tell me. Hey, Dan. Scotch: A Golden Dream on Amazon Prime. Great documentary. Pretty much centers around Jim McEwen from Brooklady and now Ardenho on Isla. A golden dram. Fuck, my God, my reading is atrocious. I'll trust Dan. A golden dream. It should be a golden dram. So I did some work this morning and now sitting outside on the deck. Beautiful day in Calgary. Yeah, I wish it was a beautiful day today. It's super windy. If I didn't know any better, the wind was blowing the building down. Like, it's just so loud. It's kind of calmed down now, but this morning was brutal. Excuse me real quick. Let me drop that down. It was such a great documentary, and oddly enough, Richard Patterson was in it, and we were kind of talking and not so shitting on him, but kind of poking fun at the way he presents himself. I think actually I think it was the last Thursday we were talking about it with James Neal, and just what a character, and he's consistent. We have to give him that. He's always consistent with his delivery of his mannerisms towards smelling, nosing, and tasting Scotch. So, but if you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. It's really good. It does get emotional, a little bit emotional. I didn't cry, surprisingly, and I'm a fairly emotional guy. I'm not the most emotional guy that I know. It was good. And if you guys have Amazon Prime, definitely give it a watch. You won't be disappointed. I watched this morning, not even this morning, a couple hours ago while having lunch, Zombieland 2, which I had been excited for when they announced it, because Zombieland 1 is fantastic. I loved it. Zombieland 2, and I heard mixed reviews on Zombieland 2, and very surprised at how good it was. Like, it wasn't terrible, and it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still good. A little bit fresh, still funny. There was a couple times where I really laughed out loud. And so that one's on Prime as well. Just trying to get through a couple of Prime, my Prime queue, because I had finished a couple things on Netflix. So just trying to. Oh, Jason, it wasn't that bad. It definitely wasn't as good as the first one. Like, nowhere close, but it still was good. Good to turn. Jesus, my phone's going off. That was good. What else? I should have taken a picture. I made a huge charcuterie board today, with some grape tomatoes, or cherry tomatoes, I should say, not grape tomatoes. Couple cheeses, some soppressata, some nice ciabatta bread. and an avocado. So here's the thing. Avocados are bullshit fruit. They take way too long to ripen. I fucking hate it. I bought 4 avocados when was it? Friday. Finally, 2 of them were ripe today. Bullshit fruit, but it's delicious. So I put the Nintendo 64 down for a little bit, and I hooked up my Xbox 360 and started playing. Now, here's the thing. One of my favorite first-person shooter series is Halo. And I had never played Halo 1. I'd played 2, 3, ODST, Reach, 4. And I got up to 4 because then 5 was on the new console, and I never got the new Xbox. I kind of want to now, but I'm going to have to wait because quarantine and resources, mainly financials. But so I hooked it up, and I was like, I'm going to finally play through 1 through 4. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm ready. Took like an hour to update my Xbox because I hadn't turned it on in 4 or 5 years. Put in Halo 1. You need an Xbox hard drive to play the classic games. So what the bullshit? Come on, guys. Like, why? Why do I need a hard drive? There's a hard drive in here. Let me play it. No. Put in 2. Same thing. So now I started at 3. So I've been playing Halo 3. And I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fantastic. Talk about an iconic video game original soundtrack. Halo takes the cake out of all the games that I've played. I still think it stands up to a lot of the games coming out today. So good, so epic, so fitting. Yeah, let's see what everyone else is talking about. Xbox coming out later this year, so not a good time to buy now. Yeah. What is it called? I don't know, the Xbox box or whatever. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into upgrading my console repertoire because I think definitely not 360. My Wii is my most recent console purchase, if you can believe it. I used to be a fairly heavy gamer, and since back then, it's kind of gone downhill. And Xbox Series X, XSX. So you had the Xbox 360. Then the Xbox One. What was the last one? Oh, Xbox One was the last one. And then they had the redo where they increased the processing power and all that. And now the Xbox Series X. Get it together, Microsoft. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. So, what are we drinking this happy hour? I'm gonna continue on the Irish fix. Xbox One X and S. Yeah. So, ever since I forget whose stream it was. Oh no, it was the Whiskey Crusaders 1,000 subscribers stream. I think it was hour 2. They mentioned that this is Writer's Tears Redhead. Pretty much the Writer's Tears malt finished in sherry butts. They were mentioning, at least not even discussing more, a little bit of a lack of appreciation for some of the Irish whiskeys, and we were talking about this yesterday too. It's coming up a lot. I feel like I'm doing. Hey Richard, what's going on, buddy? And Andrew. So I haven't had the regular Writer's Tears. I don't remember the last time I had it. Fuck. long time, long time. So, but essentially, what you're essentially getting with the redhead is a lot of that sherry influence. So a lot of the lighter dark fruits like raspberries, a lot of tartness, right? But then it's very different from Scotch matured in sherry, because that atypical Irish flour, buttery velvetyness and is prevalent, and it kind of marries, in my opinion, a little bit nicer compared to some other sherry scotches. Josh Galladay and Gretchen got me this for my birthday, I think my 30th. The port finish. Dan, have I? Oh, wait a minute. I think I have a sample of that. Oh no, this is Red Spot. Never mind. So I don't know if I've had the port finish. Did I have it at your place, Dan? I can't remember. Yeah, no, I've been nursing this bottle because it is really good. And what a beautiful color too. Like, just hold on. Wait a minute. I can do this. That's got information on it. I wonder if this will work. I wonder if a black background will that work? That doesn't work. Oh my god, I can't do this. There you go. I think that'll... Yeah. Gorgeous color. Really, really friendly on the nose. Super fruity. Yeah, god damn it, Dan. I got no blank whites. This is such a disaster. Okay. Let's try it again. Focus. Screw this. I give up. You guys get it. Oh, a Marsala finished Writer's Tears. That sounds great. If you don't already know, like, I'm a sucker for Marsala. Italian. Oh, Marsala. Oh, you're so stereotypical. Yeah, I am. But Marsala finished whiskeys is great. Also, speaking of Marsala, this reminds me of the Port Charlotte MC01 Marsala finished Isla. Tomorrow night on Cast Strength Live, that's our weekly stream with Dan, Brad, and sometimes Jeremy. We are going through all of the Bruichladdich products that we have in our respective collections. So join us for that. There's a lot of great stuff, and obviously this kind of ties in because, we watched the Scotch documentary on Amazon Prime. We're kind of like reminded of just how amazing a distillery Bruichladdich is, and where it came from, and who was involved, and reminded just how much we love that distillery. So we're just going through it all. Whatever we have, I think I have four or five things from them. Brad definitely has a fair amount more than me. He's got like, I think 6 or 7 Octomores, some Black Arts. So if you guys want to watch a fairly comprehensive breakdown of a lot of Bruichladdich products, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on here. Click the little bell button and subscribe if you haven't already. Excuse me one second. Let me just Ben can wait. So yeah. What else is going on? What else is going on? So yeah, sorry, let me get back to the writer's tears. I'm all over the place today. Yeah. Like I said, the buttery cereal Irish malt plays really well with the sherry influence. It's soft and round, plump, a lot of fresh fruitiness, and a subtle long finish. Like it just kind of stays with you, but very much in the back of the tongue. Every time you go to kind of move your tongue around, it kind of gets spread back around. And yeah, highly recommend it. It's a really good one. What's everyone else drinking? I haven't asked that yet. My apologies. I feel like probably a couple of people already kind of mentioned in the chat. I've missed a couple of comments. So available for delivery at home or a store. Oh, that's talking about the redhead at the LCBO. $70. Yeah, I'd probably play. I would play it. I would pay $70 for this. Yeah. Water, Jason, and Earl Grey tea from Donald. Well, I got a little bit of water here, so cheers, guys. Oh, Glendronach 12 is great. I have a bottle of that. Let me go get it. There's my bottle of Glendronach 12, completely empty because it was delicious. And I guess this is a good opportunity to kind of ask everyone, what do you guys do with your empty bottles? I have a graveyard in my closet right now, trying to figure out well, I know what I want to do, but it's very seasonal. And I'm gonna leave it a secret of what I'm gonna do with my empties for when the time is right to share. But Swami tosses them. Well, yeah, you can toss them. I've been keeping them. I feel like I could probably make something kind of like an Art Deco sort of wall with just a bunch of empty bottles, one of everything, all of my kills, almost like when you when you go hunting and you shoot a big moose or something, and you get him taxied and anchored to the wall on a plaque, sort of thing like that. Like all the bottles that I've conquered. So when people come in, they're like, "Oh, that guy knows what he's doing. I better keep my whiskey away from him." Richard keeps the box and recycles the bottle. Fair. Dan takes the labels off, pastes them in his whiskey scrapbook. Yes, that is something. I really like that idea. I'm just not patient or artsy enough to take the label off of the bottle and make it into a book. I really like the idea, but yeah, it's not something that Vito would probably do. And Donald returns them to the beer store to get the deposit back. What's the deposit on a bottle? 75 cents, a buck? You'll probably get a nice shopping trip out of all the empties that I have. If it's like a buck, then it might be worth it. Dan says it takes a lot of patience. I ripped a 2mm rip into a label and lost it. Yeah, see, that's my thing. Like, I would not. One, I have no patience. I have negative patience, and two, I tend to be fairly. I'm selectively perfectionist, So definitely, I would lose my mind if I had to, if I even nicked one. Yeah, no. Just ripping off labels on like old sample bottles is an absolute nightmare for me. Uh, I'll take it off. I'll scrub with like try to get all of the residue and film off. If it's not perfect, I'll go at it for hours, and I've actually resorted to just popping them into the top rack of the dishwasher. Over a couple of cycles, I just leave it there and fill the other shelves of stuff, and just kind of let the heat and steam kind of work its way through the labels, because it's just so infuriating. It's just like, fuck it. There you go. Heat and steam do your work, and that's it. I bought another bottle because yeah, that's a little crazy, Dan. Which bottle was it? I feel like it was like a Wild Turkey or like a Jack Daniels or something. I feel like it was a bourbon. I doubt it was a Scotch. You don't like Scotch that much. All right, guys. Sorry. Before I forget, because I've already forgotten. And wow, 23 minutes I've been able to talk without stumbling too much. Look at me go. I'm getting better at this. Maybe one day I'll be like Roy. Jack Daniels. Yep, knew it. Here's the StreamYard link if anyone is wanting to join in. So yeah. One day I'll be able to have a conversation with everybody and myself, just like my hero Roy from Aquavite. It's amazing that he can talk for that amount of time, and it just be a cohesive like 2-hour block where he just kind of talks, and it all makes sense, and it's all fairly valuable. Whereas me, it's like, oh yeah, I watched Zombieland 2 this morning. Fuck avocados. And whiskey. Sniff sniff. So yeah, one day I'll be able to be just like him. Probably not. He's way too much he's way too classy and professional. Yeah, that writer's too is great. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, that's really it. What were we talking about yesterday? We were talking about, oh, here's a good thing. Aquavito. So thanks, Puffs. Donald says, if you're looking for an interesting Irish single grain, then look at the Method and Madness. I feel like you've mentioned this a couple times, Donald. Method and Madness single grain from Middleton's experimental range, finished in virgin Spanish oak, $65 at the LCBO. That do you have it, Donald? Besides you saying it's interesting, I'd like to hear a little bit more about it if you have had it. Virgin Spanish oak. I feel like it would be fairly soft. Probably get a fair amount of tannin. It seems like it would probably be a blend, as there's no age statement that Donald gave us. But yeah, I'm curious about that. I do, and it's like fruity pencil shavings in a glass. Yeah. So that tannin, the wood, I would assume the pencil shavings. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. I got to refresh my bar stuff first. I got to get some vermouth, some Campari. Greg's back. Let me add him in. What's going on, Greg?
Not much. Yep.
Oh, sorry. You're muted.
Oh.
And you're there. Okay, good. I can hear you.
All right.
Let me get rid of that loading thing there. What's going on, man?
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just another day?
Yeah. Stayed up late last night playing Destiny 2, then woke up more slept in this morning. Went got some lunch, meatball sub.
Nice. From where?
Subway.
Oh, nice.
Just walking distance.
Did you get the regular one or the meatless one?
The regular.
Regular, yeah. Good call. I have a very passionate opinion on the meatless meatball sub. Don't call it a meatball.
Exactly. I mean,
I even said this. I was like, I've made some crazy vegan dishes. I think it can be some of the tastiest stuff out there, but it's not a meatball.
Right.
Meat is objective animal meat, whatever. It's meat.
Yeah.
It's fleshy, muscular nonsense.
Exactly. That's what I don't get about vegetarian and vegan dishes. Like, oh, this is vegan meatloaf or vegan turkey or like even tofurkey. It's like,
it can be
just call it what it is.
I think we had to make names for we had to oh god, here we go. We started talking about this and look, yeah, he's already like nodding his head. Yeah, like I have to get in on this conversation. Yeah, he's already like nodding. Yeah, like I have to
Listen.
get in on this conversation. Someone's got to mute their feed.
Hold on a sec. Okay.
That's it.
There you can even refer to meat as like a fruit, very common. Also, if you're a carpenter or a framer, you work in the trades, if you want to get that screw into the meat, it's a term that is widely applied to a lot of different areas. If you want to get down to the meat and potatoes of it, though, I'm sure the definition is quite explicit. But it is a commonly used term. It really bothers you, eh?
It's just it's not a.
I mean, it's.
I'm overly dramatic about it, but it's just to kind of like make a point. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
like vocabulary evolves daily. Words are created. It wasn't called baloney until someone decided to call it baloney and give it a name.
Football. Perfect example.
Yeah, football and football.
Fine. Yeah. I'll give it.
Hand egg was only called football because they desperately needed to like attract and like take from something that was already beyond.
I guarantee that was not the reason for
it. It is. No, for real. I literally have like texts on it, dude. Check it out. Do some research. You can't do it right now on your phone in 2 minutes because you'll need to do a deep dive. But yeah, I mean, you've got a game that was established for like ages and ages and ages before hand egg. And again, when you take like, aside from the fact that players have feet in American football, there's no real like there's a foot and a ball directly involved in real football, and a hand and an egg involved in hand egg.
In the United States, American football is referred to as football. The term football was officially established in the rule book for the 1876 college football season when the sport first shifted from soccer-style rules to rugby-style rules. Although it could have easily been called...
They start using... That's so funny that they're like, yeah, we called it football when it switched from soccer rules. But it was called football. It's always been called football.
Although it could have easily have been called rugby at this point, Harvard one of the primary proponents of the rugby-style game compromised and did not request the name and did not request the name of the sport to be changed to rugby. The terms gridiron or American football are favored in English-speaking countries where other types of football are popular, such as UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia.
Every country that's not US.
Football. So like it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's big enough now that you can make names for these new dishes and things. It's not,
Yeah.
if you want, it's a hamburger.
At least for me, the way I feel about it is
it's a patty.
It's for those people.
Sorry, Greg, go ahead.
Beginning into veganism or even vegetarianism, but they still want those to go back to what they knew before. So like a veggie burger, they still want that, even though generally a hamburger is made with meat, or even like meatloaf, veggie meatloaf. They want to go back to that idea before without fully committing to the veganism, or it's just that transition over that they want to still call it that.
I think it's to make it easier and to fit in still.
Yeah.
Although that could be, again, I'm fairly naive about this. This is coming from a very, not a closed-minded, because I eat and cook vegan stuff, so it's not closed-minded. It's
like the Crown Royal bourbon mash label,
right?
It really is. Like if you really need if instead of saying bourbon mash, they should have said this is a whiskey that is made with 51% or more corn, and it just doesn't have a ring to it. Like food is named those things because of that, and there's a lot of food that's not, they're not going to specifically describe exactly what the food is. They'll say this is a chicken burger or this is a chicken salad. They're not just going to like say this is chopped up lettuce with chopped up carrots, including pieces of chopped up chicken. Like you can't. There's just, it's just a name.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple. I don't know. It is certainly marketing in that, because again, it doesn't fly when you have a label that says this whiskey is a mash made up of 51% or more corn. So they just said bourbon mash. And of course people went bananas, as we know. But it's just a name.
Yeah.
A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. To answer old Bill Shakespeare.
Oh, Billy Bob. Oh, I'm gonna pour some of this red spot. What
are you having there, Greg? Oh, that looks like some type of Texas, something down south. Super. Holy shit!
That's some Froke there, I think.
No, it's a smoky black cherry.
Oh, nice. I was like, holy shit, that's like a 20-year-old Texas whiskey in there.
The other thing that I could have said, it could have been the Cavalon, the sherry cask.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that stuff is dark and red.
It is dark. It is.
It was one of the bastards balled at someone that brought that. And as soon as they taken it out, we were all just looking at that color.
Dark green. True green.
Pretty crazy.
Kelly green, we call that.
I think Brad gave me this red spot.
I haven't had red spot yet.
It's super good.
I don't know which one this is. Is there? I feel like there's different red spots, like the green spots.
Different wine finishes?
I think so.
I thought so too. I can't remember. I did recently ask that in one of our streams, and somebody at home, as usual, had more knowledge than we did. And
surprisingly, there are a few different ones, kind of like depending on whether it's was a travel only release or even a public release. Because I know there's some travel only ones that are going to be different wines compared to the standard release.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
and that seems to be. I know it's always been a thing, but from what I've noticed, it's expanding quite a lot. The wine casks, and experimenting with all kinds of different wine casks. My favorite, for sure, I think Bruichladdich has just an amazing selection of wine casks.
You know, I mentioned earlier that we were going to be doing the Bruichladdich thing tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that's Bruichladdich, hands down, without a doubt. If I had to choose one distillery for the rest of my life, that would be it, without a doubt. Like there's nothing that even comes close, because they make some of the best non-peated whiskey I've ever had in Black Art. I really do love every release I've had. And they make some of the best peated whiskey I've ever had in their Port Charlotte and the Octomore releases. And then they have their very kind of generic, easy drinking stuff, like the barley releases, the beer barley, the Isla barley, even the Classic Laddie's just fantastic, easy dram.
Hey Nathan, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going on, Nathan?
Yeah, I'm not watching the chat. If anybody says something, Vito, you'll have to.
Yeah. Well, Puffton Dram earlier said that he's got
no talks about the dew today.
I didn't want to say anything because didn't want to get your head bigger than it is already.
It's either this or a mohawk, buddy.
You look very fresh and young with that haircut.
Oh my! Why? Thank you, sir.
You could also probably do a Thomas Shelby look.
Okay, so that you're not the first person to say that at all. And what I originally want is what's his older brother's name? Alfie?
I forget at the moment.
I want the older brother's one that goes back.
Yeah.
Tommy's goes forward.
Yeah.
Or something. I want back, but it's not long enough yet. So it is what it is. These are desperate times. Call for desperate haircuts.
Yes, desperate times. Yeah. Let me get real close so you guys maybe you can see like how much gray hair I have.
Oh my god, dude. I like it.
Nice.
That is a lot. I like it, buddy.
I like it too. If only there was a bit more, like if I had my old hairline, like the salt and pepper thing would be like key right now. But it's not happening with this hairline.
I would pay any amount of money to zoom forward to have my hair as long as Greg's. Like I would love it so bad. I can't get my hair's the structure, the way it grows is laughable.
So here's the thing. You're a step ahead now because your sides are much shorter than the top. Let it just grow out now naturally, and it'll all just kind of like be like fairly even when it comes in.
Yeah, from time to time, kind of increase the length that you're getting cut on the side, so it's still growing at, or kind of at the same rate. Because if you let it grow all by itself, you're gonna have that, what my dad and I used to call, the look like shit face. No matter what you do, it just looks like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just exactly it. You just nailed it there. I've never gotten past it. This is the longest my hair's actually ever been in my life.
The top of it.
That's the most difficult part, is just getting past that look like shit phase.
Yeah, and
one of my cousins, he was wanting to cut his hair, but he's like, "No, I don't want to go through that look like shit phase again."
It's a hard phase to get through, man.
It is.
It's a tough one, but then you get like, man, if I could zoom forward to just like shoulder length, like, oh, I would be friggin' so happy. I've always wanted it.
It's a lot of work, man.
Let's see. For me, it's been about 4 or 5 years that I've been growing it out. Yeah.
Wow. Kudos to you, my man. You've got more perseverance and strength than I do, for sure.
Yeah, because back in high school, I was in ROTC, so 0 on the sides, 1 on the top. I actually sent Vito a photo the other day of me in high school.
Yeah, it did not look like you, man. Although if we all showed pictures, Dan would look exactly the same. But if we showed pictures of everyone in high school, actually, I'll see if I can pull them up on stream, if that's okay, Greg.
Sure.
Okay, let me see if I can do this.
Let's see. That photo's what? 11 years old now.
So that's that.
Because I graduated high school back in 09.
Oh, 09. When did I graduate high school? Are you 34, 33?
I'm 29.
Oh, my math is off. What did you say, 2013?
No, 2009. I graduated.
2009. So shit, I graduated in 2007. Oh, fuck.
All right.
I don't know why I keep on thinking that was university. I thought you were older than me for a second.
I think I may have had this jersey also in high school.
Let's see.
I definitely have a ton of shirts from high school.
Oh, for the love of Satan.
Nice. Same here. I still have my high school rifle team jacket.
Nice. I wrestled in high school also, man. I have the trackers from my high school team.
Yeah, I was on the competitive marksmanship team in high school. It's from ROTC.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We don't have anything that cool up here. We have curling though.
That's one thing that I've been wanting to learn.
Curling is actually super fun, man. It's really fun. But it's not as fun as competitive shooting, which I can attest to both of those.
But curling is more expensive.
Is it?
Yeah. Because those stones, they only come from one mountain.
For real?
Yes.
See, I did not know that. But man, even if you're reloading, shooting is not cheap. And it certainly depends on the caliber that you're using. Like if you're rocking something crazy, it's super pricey. But
well, for me when I was shooting, it was indoors, 10 meters with air rifles, 177.
Change your mind later.
All right, I found. I got the photos uploaded. Give me a second. I just want to go through.
We got a photo.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to catch up on some comments. Puffs and Drams replied to saying that he's got some strong indica in the Silver Surfer.
Sorry, I asked him that and then pieced out because I only have the StreamYard open.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what he's puffing on.
Nice.
Donald Rand mentioned the Green Spot Chateau Monlena, which is a Zinfandel finish, and the Green Spot Chateau Leonville Barton, the Bordeaux finish. And he said both are delicious.
Nice.
Nathan joined the chat. What's going on there, buddy? And he said that there's a classic Laddie 22 in the UK market.
Yeah, there's a couple age-stated classic Laddies I've seen.
Yeah, all right. And now we got Greg in high school.
Hold on here. Oh, look at that sharp-looking young lad. You know what you look like? You look like a detective on one of those, The Last 24.
Oh, my God. Amazing.
You totally look like a homicide detective, man.
Outstanding. And this is, that's me.
Nice.
That is so Ontario Italian.
The open collar, the black undershirt.
So Ontario Italian guy.
That was semi-formal, grade 10, or yeah, it would have been grade 10. Yeah, grade 10. Then after that picture, I started growing my hair.
I don't have a ton of super appropriate high school pictures. I don't have any at the ready.
What the super appropriate high school, man?
Yeah,
he was a badass in high school. He probably skipped classes all the time.
100%. I failed grade 9 drama, probably an unfailable class, and all you have to do is show up to that friggin' class. It was also the nicest teacher on the planet, but you get to high school, maybe you're hanging with the wrong crowd, maybe you're doing the wrong stuff. It's easy. You're like, oh, I don't have to go to class. There's nothing enforced. Like I can just go and hang out in the calf or out back or whatever, and it was an easy thing. I definitely skipped a lot of high school, for certain. I had a couple classes. My chemistry teacher would allow me to come and go as I please, so long as I had passing marks on all of my labs and all of the tests and exams. Which I remember having a pretty big test, and I didn't study for it whatsoever, and I got 87%. Here, bring that. That's not high school, though, is it?
You're a teenager.
Why
I would appreciate if you did this, because I'm not going to condone putting other people up without their knowledge.
This is the one that you had to bring?
Thanks, Dwyer.
Tattoos, you're mini.
Yeah, this is a long. This is not appropriate.
How is it not appropriate?
This is at SARS stock. Remember the
Hold
SARS stock?
on. Wait a minute. Hold on. We're gonna do this.
One, maybe?
Hey, Beck. Dan, that's absolutely amazing. Oh.
What else is in here, Dwyer?
Pictures of me and Tina as kids.
Oh, yeah, Dwyer, you're about to be internet famous here. Sheena looks so different, man.
My ears are going to be internet famous. That's about it.
Sheena looks so different.
Our 2s and 3s of viewers.
My ears.
You're going to go viral to literally 6 of people.
My ears?
Nathan said, snap, roid rage young Daniel.
Yeah, roid raging, all 120 pounds, just raging.
Oh, we were the same weight in high school then.
I was tiny for a while.
120 all throughout high school, hit university, gained 20 pounds. And I've been that way ever since.
Seems
Don't use this hand.
seems appropriate.
Because this is what's about to happen.
Ooh, oh. I have Flaming Heart still? I thought there was Phenomenology.
Which Flaming Heart?
The 2018. Fuck, this was good. I was like, this isn't Phenomenology. I looked back and I was like, oh, it's Flaming Heart.
Nice.
What a nice surprise.
I probably have enough to refill you up there a little one. It's so good. I really, really, really love that Flaming Heart.
Yeah. So Dan, I don't know if I mentioned, so, or maybe I did. Were you? I don't know. Okay, so did I tell you what I picked up from Dave's the other day?
No.
So I picked up the last release of Log 40 Cast Strength.
Nice.
Alberta Premium Cast Strength.
Oh, so good.
The Nick Offerman Lagavulin.
Also so good.
And then Dave, some of the samples, majority of the samples, Dave just poured me, and some of them I put in. So I got the Black Adder.
God, that's one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
Yeah. So I got that. Then Talisker 15, the special release of 2019, 57.3%. I think I was part of that sample. Eau Claire, Cragganmore peated.
Nice.
The Douglas Lang Big Peat Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Highland Park Trillium.
So good. That's the best Ontario exclusive or bottled for LCBO, yada yada, whatever that I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, it's spectacular.
Then Kilkerran 8 Cherry and Kilkerran Heavily Peated. I got hooked up at the Kramers.
Yeah, you did get hooked up.
Nice.
So Nathan says he's waiting for 2 beers to cool down. Odell Good Behavior and Armadillo Tropical Squeeze. Not had either, but I'm excited for both. I need to get back into like craft beers and like experimental shit because it's always very I think because you can get like an experimental beer for like $8-10 at like a local brewery, whereas like an experimental whiskey is like $60, $90, $100 if we're lucky in Ontario.
Some of the barrel-aged stouts are pretty expensive. It was like $16 for a 16-ounce can.
What the shit?
Yeah.
That's got to be a New Mexico thing.
Yeah, I was in Mexico brewery that had done it. I forget what kind of barrels they aged in. I know it was whiskey, but when you looked at the 4-pack price, it was $46.
Holy shit!
Right?
Yeah, that seems a tad too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should do like a beer episode maybe.
There's a brewery a couple minutes from here called Furnace Room. And just like all craft breweries that have opened up in Ontario in the past while, they are killing it. That's a massive boom that's been steadily going up for quite a while up here. And one thing that we are spoiled for, I'm not a big beer guy. I stick to like an Irish stout when I have the chance. I do appreciate a good tasting beer, but it's not so much my thing, as you know. But we are spoiled for choice for craft breweries and great beers in Ontario.
LCBO does a great job at making sure that there's shelf space for the craft beer. I'm curious what the taxation is on them compared to. Actually, that's a good question for Mark. What the beer taxation is compared to whiskey taxation for either breweries or distilleries.
It's not as much. It's because of the alcohol percentage. It's same as wine.
Yes, because Ontario. Fucking. Okay, so we're gonna welcome in Nate.
Hey guys,
what's going on?
How's it going?
Man, cracked this thing open. This is freaking good, man. So it's a sour ale fermented with mango, guava, and passion fruit.
Oh, that sounds great.
That's good, man. It's really good. Yeah, years ago I was a big beer guy and liked all the citrusy, like floral IPAs and stuff. But I've gotten away from it since getting into whiskey. But this is really good.
Nice. Sounds super refreshing.
Yeah, on a 90-degree Texas spring day.
Oh, I wish it was hot here.
Yeah, sorry. I know. It's probably like getting like
it's cold and windy over here.
It's not that bad, Vito. Come on, it's Jersey weather, guy.
When you're 12 floors up, the wind is especially intense and cold.
Yeah.
And especially because there's literally almost nothing around me to break the wind either. Like there's no other buildings to kind of block. So John was saying that English ales are my jam at the moment. Yeah, a good English ale is nice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I'm just trying to hunt for a decent, like a funny, embarrassing high school picture.
We saw it already. We saw Roy Dan.
Let's see.
Why Roy?
For me, it's 26 degrees here.
26 Canadian units?
Yeah. He converted because we don't deal in freedom units.
Yeah, sorry guys, I have no idea what 90 Fahrenheit is.
Hold on, we have technology. Hey Siri, what's 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? Oh, she failed me. What a bitch. Hey Siri, what's 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
95 degrees Fahrenheit is 35 degrees degrees Celsius.
Jesus, that's way too hot for me. Way too hot for me. That's today right now.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's why that whiskey age is so good. That's crazy. That's way too hot for me.
That's beautiful weather right there.
That's not even with is that with the humidity, or that's just the raw temperature?
Raw temperature, man.
Oh,
90.
I'm so out
So
on that.
it's 90, not 95. So it's probably more like 31 or 32, but still, yeah.
I'm out.
I love it. I'm moving to Texas. Fuck this.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, come on down. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That is why the whiskey is what it is down here, is because the freaking barrel just goes like this to the whiskey, right?
Yeah, if you just
I mean, we also pay for it in the angel share. I mean, I think what it is, it's like in 2 years you're losing like at least 40% of the barrel.
I triggered Andrew's Siri.
I shut Siri down. I don't mess with Siri.
I love Siri. I use messaging, reminders, scheduling, calendar stuff. Hey, you know, I don't want to trigger anyone's Siri, but yeah, like do this, and just like it's done.
The one thing I was love saying, I won't say it to trigger it, but what does the fox say? I'll say it out loud, so a bunch of people phones trigger.
That's amazing. What does the fox say? Oh my god.
Apparently, I didn't wear any shirts at all throughout high school.
Makes sense.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of shirts anyways, but I really, really didn't wear them. Here's my problem. I really want to have a dram with you lads, but I know I have a delivery to pick up coming. And I really want to get it because it's a ton of vegetable seeds, and I really want to start them up.
Go for it. Don't worry.
Nice.
But
we have tomorrow night to have a dram.
Yeah, that's true, and a few too because it's laddie night.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Great.
Yeah. So I'll brew laddie. I'm gonna pull all my stuff after this is done. Just so I have it all ready, because you know I'm professional and I'll forget tomorrow.
I get everything ready for about 10 minutes before the stream, if I can even get there. Like I'm in the living room now, as you can see. In the dram cave is friggin'. She's messy.
I'll probably fall asleep tomorrow after the happy hour and be late to the stream. That's my luck.
Didn't you do that last week with the blending episode?
Yeah, with Jesse. That was the first. It was the first happy hour, and after it, I was like, I'm gonna just lay down for a quick second. Next thing I know, it's 8:05, and I was like, oh fuck. So, oh boy, what a life this has turned out to be.
So Dan, your seeds, you're gonna get them going under UV lights or what?
Sorry, what's that?
Your seeds, are you going to get them started like in the house under UV lights or what?
I'm going to I will start. I start everything, mostly everything in the house, but there's a lot of stuff that gets direct sown, like beets, lettuce, stuff like that. You'll want to direct sow because they don't do too well transplanting, or it's just extremely difficult to transplant. Sure. Normally. And I just was looking at a bunch of those pictures. So I used to have a hardcore setup. I have a very extensive background in indoor gardening. And so I have lots of hardcore equipment, and I like peppers and tomatoes. You need to start super early, get some nice big mature to get them out, because our season up here is super short.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not going to see the temperatures you're getting until like for another 2 months.
Yeah.
But, and like even last week, we've had some nice warm days. You'd be out there in a t-shirt and the sun's there and it's nice, and the top of the soil's all nice, and then you go to put your shovel in the soil and it's frozen solid a few inches.
Wow.
But yeah, I will start a lot of stuff inside. I've got a few areas where I'll be starting stuff, and I actually am going to be starting to grow some fruits and veggies indoors here on site at my house. So I got a ton of stuff, and I have a massive amount of seeds already, but I ordered some newer stuff this year, and I kind of planned out to use a bunch of them, and I don't want to go out and plant and then do it another day. I like to kind of do everything I can in 1 or 2 days. So I'm waiting for that. Yeah, we have two different. She just reminded me. I have 2 different seed orders coming in.
Nice.
Wow.
But I think this year it's a good year for it. We don't know where the economy's going to be. I'm also a vegetarian, so I eat a shitload of vegetables. But my plan is I always grow way more than me or my immediate family can eat. And I always give some away in that. But this year, the way that everything is going, our food banks are getting hit a heck of a lot harder.
Right.
And I'm going to just produce as much as I possibly can to do a weekly fresh delivery to the food bank, because
that's amazing.
Yeah, there is a lot of canned and non-perishable items there, and they're super important and great, but it's also really, really important to have fresh fruit and vegetables. So my plan is to do a weekly delivery to the local food bank here with as much veg as I can to
that's fantastic,
to get to those that need it, because like I said, they're getting hit really hard right now, and it's everywhere. It's not just here, obviously. Having the passion and skills that I have, certainly good to put it to no better use than giving it to those in need.
You're a stand-up guy.
Do you ever use Seed Savers Exchange?
No, but
it's an amazing site, man.
Yeah, they are. It is a great site. The last time, and I can't remember if that was the specific site. The last time I was really active in the online seed community, a lot of it, there were still issues in Canada having seeds cross the border.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now it's a lot different. So I just ordered from Baker Creek. They're in Missouri.
Okay.
They're one of the best heirloom sources in North America. It's a family-owned business. They're super hardcore about maintaining proper heirlooms. In fact, with the future hopes of at some point making some whiskey, if even in a smaller batch, I've got a ton of gnarly corn. I've got Bloody Butcher corn. I've got some crazy, really nice hardcore heirlooms, like stuff like Iron Root's been using, that will give that much, give that much of a leg up on the taste, because I'm not an experienced whiskey maker.
Right, of course.
We have someone.
Yeah, we do. Well, that's the thing. And Mark, that's the other thing. If I can grow and get enough to a level where he could put out, a half acre of something or whatever, because he does have space to grow. And with the greenhouse space that I can get, I'd love to grow some really gnarly heirloom, unique stuff. And Mark's obviously all about that. Anything that's out of the norm or experimental, he's definitely into.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, the Whiskey Den guys had Spirit of French Lick evening with Spirit of French Lick the other night, and that dude that dude was a corn farmer. Like, he grew up on a vegetable farm, and so he was talking on that episode about how just for fun he cultivated, I think he said something stupid like 20 something different, like open air cultivation style, different species, like distinct species of corn. He just he has a whole deep freeze in his garage full of corn that he cultivated. So he might be a good person to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of, I have a fairly extensive knowledge of growing a lot of stuff, but there is some stuff like corn up here. It's basically I'm in like the corn capital of Canada. Like even in the prairies, like the farm section that we're in Ontario, ask Vito, like You go on the edge of any city, the corn starts. Boom. Like I've got hectares and hectares and hectares of corn around me. But it's a lot of sweet corn, just like peaches and cream, your generic.
Yeah. And then canola corn too, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Oh, tons of that. And it tastes great. Like the peaches and cream is fantastic. Some of the best corn I've ever had, but we just don't have those other varieties. And there might be limiting factors like our shorter season or just the hardiness of a lot of veg can't handle it up here with our early and late frost dates. But somebody like that would be great to talk to because again, they know all the ins and outs about it. And like, I'm a big heirloom guy. I'm big into breeding and genetics. So I that might be something. I'll probably check that episode out before and then maybe try and reach out to him through Patty or something. Because I've actually quite a few episodes behind on Whiskey Den. My bad, Patrick. I will catch up. I'm actually really bad for
watching other whiskey tubers.
Yeah, I subscribe at everyone I can. I subscribe and I like and I always share it and that. But like just the time that I have these days, it's hard for me to find time to even get myself in front of the camera. I'm fortunate today that we kind of had like a day off from school.
Oh, cool.
We get a weekly email with all the like work and stuff and to do, and he's got like an hour left, and it's Wednesday, so we're taking it easy. We're gonna build a solar powered robot.
Nice.
That's super cool.
Science.
Yeah, science. And yeah, so I'm fortunate today to have the time, but I've got with all these seeds coming in, I'm putting in another garden in the backyard. I've got 4 gardens going at my grandmother's house that I'm gonna plant in and start up. And then I've got a quite a large indoor garden off-site that requires a lot of attention. So today's one of the last days I think I'm gonna have to be able to hop on something like this and that. But who knows? Maybe I can stream from the garden.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
surrounded by veggies.
Yeah, you know,
and the like.
That's right. Maybe I can sway some of our whiskey enthusiasts into the gardening area, and hopefully I can sway some gardening enthusiasts over into the whiskey area. Because I was thinking of doing a few live videos. I get swamped every year with questions and people asking me like, can I grow this here? Can I grow that? Where can I get this and stuff? And I figure if I just do like a weekly or 2 times a week, just do a quick little live video from the garden and what's going on and all that. Might be a interesting little thing.
Just do it. Don't even question. Just do it.
It's natural progression from gardening to whiskey, right? Because if you grow too much vegetables, fruit, grain, etc., you got to do something with it. So why not make beer? And if you're gonna make beer, why not stick it in a still and make whiskey, right?
Yep. And that was the original driving force behind whiskey, was all the overage and what to do with it.
Yeah.
And they turn it into whiskey. So
I actually heard WhistlePig recently bought a bunch of sour beer that had gone off from a bunch of distilleries in New England, and they've since distilled it and are putting it in barrels as we speak. So God knows what the heck that's going to turn into. I mean, it'll be amazing, but just depending on, you know, if there's some sour ales in there, if there's lagers, if there's pilsners, this, that, the other. I mean, that could be a funky, crazy, weird adventure in, 5-6 years from WhistlePig.
Big time. They're not exactly, while a lot of people may find them overpriced, they're still not known for making a poor product.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that would be actually quite interesting. And that opens up a whole nother door. I imagine there is, for whatever reasons, and again, just due to the vast size of the brewery industry, there probably is a considerable amount of product that goes to waste that otherwise could be repurposed into whiskey production if it turns out to be a good thing. I don't see I don't
I
see.
haven't had many. Oh, go ahead.
Like you said, like it's obviously going to be good. I don't see them releasing a bad product. And if they got to the level of, hey, let's put it in the barrel, then the initial new make spirit must be pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think in general, right? Like, you don't really see a lot of. I think the guys have talked about this on the Vault before, but like, you don't really see a lot of distilleries that do super well just turning their beer into whiskey. But I mean, I think, like, what do you call it? Balcones has kind of gone the opposite direction with it in a certain way, right? They just started doing beer, to whereas they were only doing whiskey, and then now they're, just newly released the Shiner Malt Whiskey, which is basically Shinerbach beer made according to specs, distilled and aged. So I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. Real Brewery started distilling, and their stuff's pretty decent. So I don't know. I think it's probably a unique skill set that probably not every brewery has a lock on.
Right.
Yep, agreed. And like you said earlier too, with the different types of beer that might be involved in that is just a whole nother ballgame for each different beer. Hey Vito.
Yo.
Of all the bottles you've emptied so far during recent times,
Yes.
which one do you miss the most?
Fuck.
That's good. See, that means it's a good question.
Right.
Hold on.
And I'll open that up to the rest of you, to Nate and Greg. A bottle that you've emptied in the past, let's go a year even, that you missed the most or wish you had another.
Okay. I know. It's a toss-up between the Iron Root barrel pick that Josh did.
Oh, yeah.
And Ardbeg Ugadal. That's a toss-up between the two.
I think that just to do some thinking for you, you'd have to go with the Iron Root, simply because if you wanted to, you could buy another Oogie and have it delivered to your house tomorrow.
Volume 3.
What is it, Oogie?
No, the release, the Bloody Butchercorn Iron Root.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's a full 2 ounce sample.
So that would last me about 7 months.
So I'm keeping it ported out because I'm keeping that. When I get the second release, I'm gonna pour 2 ounces of that. The third release, I'll pour 2 ounces of that, and then if there's anything left over for a fourth, like very, like a couple of bottles here or there, like 3 or 4, I'm gonna do a comparison between all 4.
When is the next bottling of that? Is it a
Two's already happened. 2 happened, I think, in November, December. And
is it an even amount of time between every?
No.
Okay.
It's up to Robert and Jonathan. They're sort of spearheading when they decide that it's time.
They kind of know what they're doing.
They you'd think, right?
They kind of know what they're doing, just a bit.
Yeah. So when they say, okay, it's time for the next release, then they bottle it. But it's probably going to happen sometime around July, August, I would assume. Maybe a little bit later. And then probably the last one will probably happen sometime in the winter. Yeah, it'll be interesting because now they're changing their bottles as well. So we'll have the first 2 releases are going to be with the stand, like the old style Iron Root, and the new ones are just going to be the straight like this kind of bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's so iconic.
Yeah.
But when you have a product that's that quality.
Did anybody just catch that?
Pardon me?
I unscrewed this and went to take a swig right from
Oh my god.
Fuck it.
Awesome.
No judgment
Is
here.
that the Writer's Tears Redhead?
Attaboy.
I have
This
not
is a
had that,
different
but I'm
zone.
digging. I just picked up a bottle of Writer's Tears 2 weeks ago, and I'm really digging it.
Is it the standard release?
Yeah, just the regular stuff.
It's even better from the bottle.
Yeah, I've heard the cast strength is pretty to die for too.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna get it.
I don't have a sample yet. Brad's got a bottle.
And I think the cast strength is only like $55. I think I saw it on the Total Wine app locally.
Yeah,
I
Brad talks up the cast strength. He really likes it.
Yeah, I've never. So my experience with Irish is somewhat limited.
With everybody, it's very limited.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the Redbreast 12-15 Listowel. I've had the Jameson Castmates.
All the available stuff.
Green and I haven't had any Teeling, but excuse me. Yeah, I've never really been terribly impressed with Irish. Even the Redbreast was like, the biscuit note was cool, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't all about it like a lot of people seem to be. Oh, is that the cast strength?
No, this is a single cask cognac finish.
Ooh.
And it is it's super, super, super good.
Nathan, one Irish I would say to try is going to be Napogue Castle.
Okay.
Those guys are usually a little bit more deeper compared to other Irishes.
Deeper? How do you mean? Is it a single malt or?
Yeah, it's a single malt. So you're going to get a lot more richer flavors out of it compared to your standard Irishes, where since Irish is triple distilled, it seems a little lighter on flavor. Napogue Castle is a little bit more on the heavy side.
Okay.
Have you had Connemara yet, Nate?
Yes, I have.
Because I know it's not by any means a traditional Irish, like when you're looking for an Irish, but it's frigate's good.
Yeah,
it was good. It's I couldn't really taste much other than the peat, to be honest. I didn't really get a lot of the malt character, which I guess I assumed is due to the fact that it's a peated, triple distilled.
Well, it depends, because like, did you just taste it, or did you get a bottle of it?
I had it at a friend's house, so I had a couple pours over a couple days.
Because if like I had a full bottle, and the more accustomed I got to it, the more it evolved. Like by the end of it, like not even by the end of it, by like even like a quarter of the way through the bottle, I was like, this is so weirdly complex from what it started out as.
Okay.
Because it was my first peated Irish that I had ever had, right? So it was like kind of like weird getting used to like all the different flavors and everything, just like when you're moving from Scotch to bourbon or bourbon to Scotch. It ended up turning into a buttery rhubarb pie with like a heavy butter crust and just a really crazy sweet and tartness from that, like a rhubarb sour strawberry taste.
Interesting.
And then interlaced in that is like a kind of like a weird sort of aromatic smoke that was just like you're pulling, like you're opening the oven and you're just getting like a whiff of like
interesting.
Slightly,
I may have to pick up a bottle then, because it's not terribly expensive.
It's really good.
It's pretty reasonably priced for what it is. It's great value. I don't know what it goes for down there, but it's probably cheaper than what we get it for.
If it's around $30-$35, I would go for it.
For sure. Yeah, I want to say it may have been like 40 or 45, so still not bad. I'll risk $40-$45 on a bottle.
It does. While I didn't have a bottle myself, I did have 4 ounces, which for me is like an infinite amount. And I did get, so at the first it was very peat heavy, and then a bit of Irish notes in there. And then for me now, not a pour like a couple weeks ago, it's literally, you get just a wonderful peat and super Irish notes. Like I know it's a stupid thing to say, but it tastes like a peated Irish. You get all of those, like Vito was saying, a lot of buttery, like almond. I don't know if you guys know like Scottish almond tarts, but very like that neutral buttery
marzipan.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And then the peat just complements it so nicely. And it's another one of those drams that, so outside of Irish, if I went back into the dram cave right now, I would be hard up to find more than 5 bottles that are 40%. The way I gravitate towards higher proof, coming from being a barrel proof bourbon guy, originally to start my journey, I kind of gravitated towards that in Scotch, and as most of us do, and usually there's a little more love into a bottling that at a higher ABV.
Yeah.
But they're like, considering the amount of Irish at 40%, which is a lot of them.
Yeah, most of it. Yeah,
Spectacular. Because if you take an average Canadian at 40% and an average Irish at 40%,
there's no fucking comparison.
it's not even the fucking same game.
The difference
obviously
is astronomical.
Yeah, and they've got, centuries more experience making whiskey, and it shows in that, and something that can, as Greg was saying, they're all triple distilled at minimum.
Yeah.
What was that crazy one that was distilled? It was in a chat, Vito. Someone had posted it, and it's distilled. I think Josh maybe posted it. It's distilled a ridiculous amount of times.
I think it was like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
this is way higher than that. It was distilled like
an Irish whiskey that's distilled that much.
I know there's a whiskey distilled 6 times in Ireland. I don't recall what it's called.
Now that I think about it, I don't know that it was Irish. Now that I think about it.
Oh, it was there was a rye that we were talking about. I know that's distilled like 6 times.
You're thinking about the documentary, Dan. I think they mentioned something, a whiskey that was distilled a bunch of times, either at Bamor or Bruichladdich. I feel like they mentioned that when I was watching it last night.
No, it was not in the documentary. It was absolutely in a chat, and it was posted by Josh, and I'll have to hunt for it now. But it was distilled a ridiculous amount of times. You remember, I was questioning it, and I was like, that can't be. Nobody distilled something that many times, but they did, and it was wild. But yeah, to go before that digression, something that's triple distilled almost all the time, it can still have so much flavor and character into it. But there is a lot of them that are almost Canadian in their forgetfulness, and it's super friendly to drink, but there's no finish there. It doesn't really leave you wanting to explore another dram right away. And it's certainly not the norm, but there is a lot. And that's the character of a lot of Irish whiskey. But with a lot of these wine finishes and like this cognac finishes, I think, to my knowledge, the only cognac finished whiskey I have, and it is spectacular.
And I know the Blood Oath just released their, what is it, pack 6 or 7 they're on now, but it's a cognac finish.
Nice.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it works quite well. I was expecting a bit of almost a bitterness, or just because, again, I was when you've never had it before, you can't really, make a solid guess on what it's going to be until you taste it. And I've had cognac before, and I know what it tastes like, and I've had Irish before, so I was wondering if it was really going to be worth it. But it's actually spectacular. It is a wonderful dram, and if you do see this anywhere, I would strongly recommend picking that one up for sure.
Yeah, I would assume cognac would give a lot of syrupy sweetness, and then that grapey bitterness that you're talking about.
The grapey bitterness is there, and it works quite wonderfully in contrast with the super sweet Irish characteristics. It is a great dram.
And then plus you could also get either some nutty notes or fruity notes depending on what type of soil it was. Because like your champagne, your petite champagne, they have different flavors, and it's all based partially on the soil.
Yeah, when then you figure, you go Licorice Brother and you think about the barrel toast type, etc.
Yeah.
that they're using on that cognac cask, and
Yeah.
it creates a lot of potential for some interesting stuff to happen.
Yeah, super fruity notes on this particular one. And yeah, going back to the soil has a massive, massive effect.
Yeah, usually goes back to terroir.
Yeah, I've grown lots of fruits and vegetables of identical genetics, identical feeding regimens, everything being identical except for the soil itself, and had noticeable differences in the end product in both scent and flavor. I'm just dying to find this before I need vindication.
When you find the picture, that's going to be the end of the happy hour.
One thing that
I think he's looking for that chat snippet now.
Oh, is it for the
He's
chat?
moved on from the.
I feel like the picture.
Yeah, because one thing that I've been wondering as far as farming goes is dry farming versus your standard watering regimen. How much of an impact will it have on as far as flavor goes? Because that's what I'm used to doing traditionally is dry farming. There's a bit of irrigation depending on where in the land that you're growing, but for the most part, it's going to be dry farming.
Oh yeah, I guess being out in New Mexico, right? Yeah, man. I'll say dry farm tomatoes are my favorite. I like a dry farm tomato compared to a greenhouse tomato any day. I just love the tooth that a dry farm tomato has. I did this really cool thing back in the restaurant days where we took dry farm tomatoes. They were this big, not terribly large, but we packed them in salt and herbs and roasted them in a super hot oven. And the tomatoes didn't pop. They basically like roasted in their own skin in that whole pan full of salt. So you very delicately take them out. And it looks like a tomato, man. It's the most amazing thing ever. It just looks like you have a tomato in your hand, and then you poke it, and it just like explodes out. Tomato soup in a sack of its own skin. It's amazing.
Yeah, the one that I love is dry farm sweet white corn. That's roasted. That's just delicious stuff.
Is it starchy?
No, it's not. At least as far as after it's roasted, it doesn't seem starchy to me.
Okay,
it just has this nice sweetness. It's not an overpowering sweetness. You still get that nice rich corn flavor, but has a bit of sweetness to it. And on a lot of feast days here at the Pueblos, there'll be 1-2 farmers there that will be selling freshly roasted corn.
Roasted in its husk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you actually have to peel it off,
Yeah.
What's the hairs?
Yeah.
That's
awesome, man. Have you had brimstone, Greg?
I love
brimstone. Okay, good. Yeah, because I was going to say, if you like that, you're going to love brimstone. Yeah, because, for me, when I tasted brimstone, I was like, oh, God, this is like
liquid barbecue.
Barbecued street corn.
Then one that I absolutely love, it's not for sale, but Left Turn, a local distillery here, they have a red corn bourbon. That's delicious.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's not for distribution, or it's still kind of sitting in the barrel aging, or what?
It's in the barrel aging, and they do have a bit of sales for mixed drinks at the distillery itself. But they don't have any bottling of it yet, so I'm thinking it's just the amount of volume that they have. It's just for in-house use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I asked the distillery, he said he'd get me a sample, so I was going to take that out to Austin whenever it happens for people to try.
Wow, yeah, that would be dope, man. I would love to taste that. Yeah.
Plus, I was wanting to give a small bit to the Licorice Brothers to see what they think of it. Because especially with the different climates that New Mexico and Texas has. Because here in New Mexico, since we're at a higher altitude, one unique thing that happens, and Colin had said this from Santa Fe Spirits
Mhm.
is we lose more water than we do alcohol.
Right.
Yeah. So we lose a bit more water than what he has to do to counteract that is he wets the barrels in his barrel house.
So, like the racks of barrels, he like sprays with a hose, or like what do you mean?
I'm not too sure how he exactly does it. I think that's the process of it.
Okay.
But it's the barrels moist to kind of counteract that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because it is definitely a little more humid here for sure.
Yeah. Then plus
so-
one thing that we have is usually 20 to 30 temperature difference from the middle of the day to night.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you were saying in Texas, the heat. It's kind of like that where we get a lot of movement in and out of the wood.
Right.
Yeah, because Cold Keegan is only roughly about 2 to 3 years old in every bottle.
Yeah, I have a sample of Cole Keegan. I haven't tapped it yet. I was going to wait for the Back to the Den guys. They're doing I think it's in like a week or something. They're doing an interview with Cole and Keegan.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's not next Monday, the Monday after, I think.
Yeah, because what he uses is the pecan mesquite.
pecan mesquite.
Yeah. Then there's the other one in Arizona, Del Bach. They use vanilla mesquite.
Del Bach.
Okay, I didn't realize there was two types of mesquite. I guess I only thought there was vanilla mesquite.
Now there's some pecan mesquite.
Okay, cool, man.
If I remember correctly, that's what Colin Keegan uses.
Okay, well, I still have a little bit of the Del Bach. I might have to side by side those and see what kind of mesquite character there is.
Yeah, because
like the difference between the two.
Yeah, because I think they're very similar as far as regional wise, because our temperatures are somewhat similar. So if we were to kind of go into a regional thing, I'm thinking it would be Arizona and New Mexico for like the Southwest region.
Sure. Yeah.
But there's not too many distilleries around here that are old enough to really state, all right, this is New Mexico or this is Southwest style whiskey.
Yeah. Patrick Cohn is all over us saying Del Bach.
I knew.
He was lurking. He was lurking.
Patrick always shows up when Del Bach is mentioned. It fucking happened again. God damn it!
Senses are tingling.
I fucking knew it. I was like, oh, they're talking about Del Bach, and I was like, oh, Patrick Cohn. I was like, where is he? Then he shows up. It's like when you say Beetlejuice. You say Del Bach 3 times, Patrick shows up. God damn it!
It's kind of like the supernatural fandom on Reddit. These random threads, people will post something, then all of a sudden, supernatural fandom will pop in with an obscure reference.
Yeah, he has Del Bach radar. It's official.
I actually haven't had Del Bach just yet, Patrick. I haven't made my way out to Arizona. Oh, sorry, Nathan.
It's good, man. Yeah, Patrick has a Del Bach radar and an extensive Texas whiskey collection.
Extensive whiskey collection. Forget.
Oh yeah, I mean, he showed off the Texas stuff the other day, and I'm like, man, I wonder what the other regions of the world have. Yeah, he's got to have a substantial one.
He's got a bottle or two.
I've joked with Patrick a couple times to adopt me. I haven't.
You weren't joking,
huh?
You weren't joking.
Oh no. Well, no, not really. I say that because he hasn't fully committed to it, so I'm just making it seem like it's a joke. So not to break my heart even further, but
that's funny.
I'm having the world's worst time. I'm still trying to find this information here. So
it wasn't on an After Dark stream, was it? Because
no, it wasn't. It wasn't on a stream. I wouldn't trust any information that was transmitted during an After Dark stream. I would not trust any of that information.
And I've been wanting to try Del Bach and Cole Keegan side by side since they are similar styles but different woods.
I'm just having the worst time here. No fun. But what can you do?
Do I
Oh
need
my God.
to get a Canadian flag to make the adoption legit, Vito?
No, you just have to have as big of a collection of maple syrups as you do whiskey.
And then you need to sew an Italian flag to a Canadian flag, wrap it around the maple syrup collection, and then Vito's summoned.
You happy we did it?
My computer is about to melt.
Outstanding.
Look at topless kids going on here.
Hey, Beckham.
He's nothing like his father.
What are you doing there, dude?
Nothing like his father, your wife said.
Well, we saw
Shirts either.
Yeah, at least we know the
Okay.
at least we know the dislike of shirts is hereditary.
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. But on that note, gents, I am going to go spend some time with this little unit. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm so glad that I get this little break in the day. And thanks to Vito for hosting on the Best Whiskey channel on YouTube.
You can't even say you said that with a straight face, Dan. I don't approve. I don't approve of that.
I took a deep breath before I said it. But Greg and Nate, thanks for hanging out, buddy.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Hanging out, man. Cheers, man. See you, bro.
Until next time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. And I think with that, I've reached my limit as well. An hour and 40 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
You know, it's becoming almost a daily thing. The three of us doing this, so it's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Right.
We should. Yeah, we need to get some other people in the loop, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is this Aquavitae? Yes, it is, Patrick. This is Aquavitae.
It's you know what it is. So who was it? Puffs and Drams earlier said Aquavito.
Aquavito.
But yeah,
that's funny.
Or they go the other route. Udavito.
What's that?
Udavito. Kind of like Udavi. Udavito.
Ooh, I like that.
Because yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day for today. So anyone still watching, if you are didn't watch from the beginning, Cast Strength, me, Dan, and Brad are doing a Bruichladdich night tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Sorry, that's old time. At 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're just gonna go through all the Bruichladdich product in our own personal collections and go through all of that and talk about Bruichladdich and how much that we love them. And you guys are more than welcome to drink along if you have some Bruichladdich, and if you don't, make us jealous with what you do have. Yeah, we'll see you guys then, as well as tomorrow at 4 p.m. for another happy hour. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, good seeing you later.